So,
We're live.
yeah, we are live now.
Okay. So you tell me when we can start.
Yes, we can start now. We are live now.
Okay. And what is your procedure? How long does the class last? How long you want
1 hour, 1 hour class.
1 hour. Okay.
Okay.
And how many people are attending now? How many devotees?
Oh, I don't know. It varies. Sometimes it's so many. All the other devotees will watch the transmission live. It's recorded in the MayapurTV.
Your voice is breaking.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now because your voice, I was not hearing what you were saying.
Oh, I was saying that it's a broadcast through MayapurTV Brasil on YouTube channel. So the class will be recorded and the students can see after, not only live.
Okay. All right then. Narayana namaskritya narayachaiva narottamam Devam Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nastapaye Swabhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastike Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Advandya Chamhade Chari Sabatagiyate Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangu Langarti Guhim Yakipataham Vande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava Dana Prajeto Kadavutra Paramoni Masham Satan Vedam Vastavam Atavastu Shivadan Tapatayo Mudana Sima Bhagavate Mahamani Kitintive Bhavara Isvara Sadyurdi Avarudi Atetra Katibita Kitsimam Gurave Gurachandraya Harjikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tabatya Namo Namaha Namamo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nivise Sunyabadi Pashtadi Starine Vanchakapatu Vishya Kripat Snivita Paritanam Pavana Vibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'm very happy to be speaking live to the devotees of Brazil Yatra. And I'm speaking from Sri Vrindavana.
Então, estou muito feliz de estar falando para os devotos brasileiros ao vivo. Eu estou falando aqui de Vrindavana Dhamma.
So, this is the best period of time in Vrindavan. The best season of the year is Kartik. The Kartik just finished. So we finished Kartik yesterday. So, I mean, thousands and thousands of people will come to our temple every day in Vrindavan, Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir. So I also live in Vrindavan with Krishna Balaram Mandir for the past few years now.
Então, a gente está no melhor momento, né? O mês de Kartika acabou de acabar e milhares de devotos vêm ao templo de Krishna Balarama Mandir, onde eu estou residindo agora.
So I feel myself privileged that I've been asked to speak Bhagavatam class to our devotees in Brazil. I always look for the day when I will come to visit Brazil, but somehow I've not been able to come.
Então, eu estou muito feliz de ser convidado para falar o Bhagavatam para os devotos brasileiros e eu fico pensando quando é que vai ser a minha oportunidade de ir para o Brasil também.
But one day, Krishna will, if Krishna permits, I will surely come.
Então, de alguma maneira, quando Krishna permitir, eu certamente irei.
There were so many Brazilian devotees in Vrindavana, in Maya, especially in Mayapur, so many. Like
Tem
the
muitos
Takitana
devotos,
Mataji, Sitanitai, so many.
tem muitos devotos em Vrindavana e especialmente em Mayapur também.
So, the text, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 9, text 35. This is regarding this grandfather Bhishmadev passing away.
Então, a gente vai ler o Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 1, capítulo 9, texto 35, a passagem de Bhishmadeva.
So I just read the text, the transcripts. I'll do word for word meaning, and then I read the translation and then the purports, and of course this will be followed by the translation into the Portuguese.
Então ele vai ler o texto e o significado em inglês, depois eu leio em português.
Sapadi sakibacho nisam yamadye nija parayo balavo ratanivishya sitabati parasanikayo aksnam Vrindavati patasakirati mamastu. Synonyms, word for word meaning. Sapadi, on the battlefield. Sakivachaha, command of the friend. Samya, after hearing. Madhye, in the midst. Nija, his own. Parayo, and the opposite party. Balayo, strength. Ratam, chariots. Niveshya, having entered. Spitavati, while staying there. Parasainika, of the soldiers on the opposite side. Ayu, duration of life. Aksna, by looking Riti, act of diminishing. Partha, of Arjun, son of Pritha, Kunti. Shake, on to the friend. Rati, intimate relation. Mama, my as to let there be. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. In obedience to the command of his friend, Lord Sri Krishna entered the arena of the battlefield of Kurukshetra between the soldiers of Arjun and Duryodhana, and while there, he shortened the lifespans of the opposite party by his merciful glance. This was done simply by his looking at the enemy. Let my mind be fixed upon that Krishna.
Can I read? Yes. Então, Sapadi, no campo de batalha, Sakivacha, ordem do amigo, Nishamya, após ouvir, Madhye, no meio, Nidya, seu próprio, Parayo, e o grupo oposto, Balayo, força, Ratam, quadriga, Niveshya, tendo entrado, Stitavati, enquanto ali esteve, Parasainika, dos soldados do lado oposto, Ayu, duração de vida, Akshna, olhando para, Hirtavati, ato de diminuir, Partha, de Arjuna, filho de Pirta, Kunti, Sake, ao amigo, Rati, relação íntima, Mana, minha, Astu, Oxalá. Tradução: em obediência à ordem de seu amigo, o Senhor Shri Krishna entrou na arena do campo de batalha de Kurukshetra, entre os soldados de Arjuna e Duryodhana, e enquanto ali ele esteve, ele diminuiu os períodos de vidas do grupo oposto através de seu olhar misericordioso. Isso foi feito simplesmente por ele olhar para o inimigo. Oxalá minha mente se fixe neste Krishna. Do you want me to read the purport?
So yeah, I read the purport now. So
Okay.
in the Bhagavad Gita 1:21-25, Arjuna ordered the infallible Lord Sri Krishna to place his chariot between the phalanxes of the soldiers. He asked him to stay there until he had finished observing the enemies he had to face in the battle. When the Lord was so asked, he at once did so, just like an order carrier. And the Lord pointed out all the important men on the opposite side, saying, here is Bhishma, here is Drona, and so on. The Lord, being the supreme living being, is never the order supplier or order carrier of anyone, whoever he may be, but out of his costless mercy and affection for his pure devotees, sometimes he carry out the order of the devotee, like an awaiting servant. By executing the order of a devotee, the Lord becomes pleased, as a father is pleased to carry out the order of a small child. This is possible only out of pure love, pure transcendental love between the Lord and his devotees. And Bhishma Dev was quite aware of this fact. He therefore addressed the Lord as a friend of Krishna, no, as a friend of Arjuna. The Lord diminished the duration of life of the opposite party by his merciful glance. It is said that all the fighters who assembled on the battlefield of Kurukshetra attained salvation by personally seeing the Lord at the time of death. Therefore, diminishing the duration of life of Arjuna's enemy does not mean that he was partial to the cause of Arjuna. Factually, he was merciful to the opposite party, because they will not have attained salvation by dying at home in the ordinary course of life. Here was a chance to see the Lord at the time of death, and thus attain salvation from material life. Therefore, the Lord is all good, and whatever he does is for everyone's good. Apparently, it was for the victory of Arjuna, his intimate friend, but factually it was for the good of Arjuna's enemies. Such are the transcendental activities of the Lord, and whoever understands this also gets salvation after quitting this material body. The law does no wrong in any circumstance, because he is all absolute. He is absolute, all good at all times. You can read the purpose.
Ok. No Bhagavad Gita 1.21 a 25, Arjuna ordenou ao infalível Senhor Shri Krishna que colocasse sua quadriga entre as falanges dos soldados. Ele pediu-lhe que permanecesse ali até que terminasse de observar os inimigos com quem teria de se defrontar na batalha. Ao ser assim solicitado, o Senhor imediatamente o fez, assim como uma ordenança. E o Senhor apontou todos os homens importantes do lado oposto, dizendo: aqui está Bhishma, aqui está Drona, e assim por diante. O Senhor, sendo o supremo ser vivo, nunca é cumpridor de ordens, nem ordenança de ninguém, seja de quem for, mas por sua misericórdia, sem causa e afeição por seus devotos puros, às vezes ele executa a ordem do seu devoto como um servo prestativo. Ao executar a ordem de um devoto, o Senhor fica satisfeito, assim como o pai fica satisfeito ao executar a ordem de seu filhinho. Isso só é possível por causa do amor transcendental puro entre o Senhor e seus devotos, e Bhishma Deva estava completamente ciente deste fato. Portanto, ele dirigiu seu Senhor como amigo de Arjuna. O Senhor diminuiu a duração de vida do grupo oposto através de seu olhar misericordioso. Disse que todos os lutadores que se reuniram no campo de batalha de Kurukshetra alcançaram a salvação por verem pessoalmente o Senhor na hora da morte. Portanto, que ele tenha diminuído a duração de vida dos inimigos de Arjuna não significa que ele foi parcial para o lado de Arjuna. De fato, ele foi misericordioso com o grupo oposto, porque eles não teriam alcançado a salvação morrendo no lar no transcurso ordinário da vida. Aqui havia uma oportunidade de ver o Senhor no momento da morte e, desse modo, alcançar salvação da vida material. Portanto, o Senhor é completamente bom e qualquer coisa que faça é para o bem de todos. Aparentemente, aquilo foi para a vitória de Arjuna, seu amigo íntimo, mas de fato foi para o bem dos inimigos de Arjuna. Assim, são as atividades transcendentais do Senhor, e qualquer pessoa que entenda isso obtenha salvação após deixar este corpo material. O Senhor não erra em nenhuma circunstância, porque Ele é absoluto, completamente bom em todos os momentos.
Oh, you finished?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a very, very interesting descriptions of the affairs of Grandfather Bhishma before he passed away from this planet, before he passed away.
Então, essa é uma descrição muito interessante dos afazeres de Bhishma antes da sua passagem.
So Bhishma Dev, of course, was a very great devotee of the Lord, and was also one of the Maharajas, the authorities of the universe.
Então, Bhishma Dev claro que era um grande devoto, ele é um dos Maharajas, um dos devotos exemplares do Senhor.
So, as you said in the scriptures, that Mahajana Yunat Gatasapan tell that we have to follow the path of the Mahajans, which means the Krishna consciousness is not executed, is not practiced by our own efforts, in a sense that by our own idea. It's practiced by following the previous authorities, the previous Mahajans.
A gente não deve fazer nossas práticas sem guia, a gente tem que seguir a guia dos Mahajans, como Krishna indica.
So the Bhishma Dev was not just a Mahajan, he was also a great devotee of the Lord. He was a great devotee.
Então, o Bhishma Dev não era só um Mahajan, ele é um grande devoto do Senhor.
So which means, just as the Lord is very dear to the Lord and the Lord is very dear to him, so also are the Lord's devotees, they are also very dear to Bhishma Dev. They are also very dear to him.
Então, dessa forma, o Senhor é muito querido por Bhishma Deva e Bhishma Deva é muito querido por Krishna. E assim como os devotos também. Os devotos são queridos por Bhishma e Bhishma é querido pelos devotos.
So now, if this is the case, that Arjuna, the Bhishma Dev, being a great devotee, and he knows very well that the Pandavas, especially Arjuna, was also a great devotee of Krishna, loving devotee, not just an ordinary devotee, great devotees. So how come Bhishma Dev was on the opposite side of the battle, or the soldiers, those who come to wage war, this Kurukshetra war? So how come Bhishma Dev was on the opposite side?
Então, dessa forma, Bhishma Deva reconhecia os Pandavas também como grandes devotos, especialmente Arjuna, e dessa forma, ele estava do lado oposto, e ele não sabia quem ia vencer essa guerra.
In this prayer here, Bhishma Dev was offering so many, not only was he offering prayers to Lord Krishna, he was also praising the Pandavas as being very, very dear to the Lord, even though despite of them being very dear to the Lord, they still have to go through so many tribulations, so many troubles that they have to go through.
Então, Bhishmadeva, nessas orações, ele também está glorificando os Pandavas, que passaram por muitas turbulências para chegar até onde eles estavam.
So, while contemplating on all the atrocities which are faced by the Pandavas, which culminated into the great battle of Kurukshetra, so Bhishmadeva was wondering that how could they survive all this atrocity? How could they survive? Right, and this atrocity began right from their childhood. Right from the childhood of the Pandavas, they were facing one atrocity after the others.
Então, Bhishmadeva estava meditando em todas as atrocidades que aconteceram com os Pandavas, que aconteceram desde sua tenra infância e foram se acumulando dessa vida. Ele ficava pensando como é que eles sobreviveram a tantas atrocidades.
So, even at the battle of Kurukshetra, there's so many great personalities, great generals, whom no one can defeat. Great generals like Bhishmadeva, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, even demigods cannot even fight them. Even demigods cannot even fight them. But these are the personalities that the Pandavas, they had to fight against.
Então, na batalha de Kurukshetra, tinham grandes generais como Kripacharya, Dronacharya, o Bhishmadeva, que nem mesmo os semideuses podiam derrotar. E ele ficava pensando como é que eles vão sobreviver a isso.
So, despite all these problems, calamities, atrocities that were faced by the Pandavas, still, they always come ahead. They always come out victorious. So Bhishmadeva was saying, it's because these Pandavas, because they are great devotees of the Lord. That's why they're able to survive all the atrocity. Even though another thing is that the Pandavas is that despite facing all these tribulations, all these atrocities, still, they never at any time lament their condition. Not a single time do they lament their condition.
E Bhishmadeva pensou realizou que a passagem de a sobrevivência pelas suas atrocidades foi porque eles eram grandes devotos do Senhor e nunca lamentavam, eles sempre se mantinham fixos, nunca lamentando. É por isso que eles conseguiram passar por essas adversidades.
Because the Pandavas, they know they are Krishna's, the Krishna is their Lord, they are great devotees of Krishna, and they have their great faith in the Lord.
É porque eles eram grandes devotos do Senhor e tinham muita fé no Senhor.
So to them, anytime they have a trouble, they simply call upon Krishna by meditating on Him, and immediately Krishna appears. Krishna come and say, okay, what can I do for you? Immediately.
Então, eles sempre que estavam com algum problema, eles simplesmente pensavam no Senhor e ele aparecia ali. O que eu posso fazer por vocês?
Just like, many troubles was there, especially when Draupadi, when she was being disrobed, with the attempt to disrobe Draupadi was made in the palace of in Hastinapur. Still, immediately Krishna came and protected Draupadi by supplying unlimited sari to give her protection.
Isso aconteceu, por exemplo, quando Draupadi foi desonrada na assembleia de Duryodhana, que Krishna forneceu sari infinito para ela.
And then there was a time also when the Pandavas, when they were in exile in the forest, and that time Duryodhana, he had sent the great sage, Devasmuni, to go and be the guest of the Pandavas. To go and be their guest. And he specifically told the Devasa that he should go there after the Pandavas had finished their dinner, their lunch, I think it was dinner or lunch, especially after Draupadi had eaten a meal. And Duryodhana, he knew that once Draupadi eats, that's it. The Pandavas could no longer, attend to any other guest. So Devasmuni went there, after the Pandavas have finished eating and Draupadi had finished eating herself. So the Vasamuni went there. Now, and the Vasamuni, he didn't just go there alone. He went with his thousands of disciples. So, which means being a guest, and you always have to honor your guests. You have to entertain your guests. You can't just say Haribo to your guests. You have to feed them and all that. So when the Vasamuni came, and the Yudhishthira asked Draupadi that if she had eaten. Draupadi said, yes, I have eaten. Ok, you can translate that before.
Ok, então isso também aconteceu quando Duryodhana mandou Durvasa Muni, quando os Pandavas estavam na floresta, exilados na floresta, Duryodhana mandou Durvasa Muni ter um encontro com os Pandavas, bem logo depois que eles já tinham que Draupadi já tinha terminado suas refeições. Então, dessa forma, você tem que receber bem um convidado, e eles não tinham mais condições de receber esse convidado. Então, Draupadi não tinha o que fazer, eles iam ser amaldiçoados por Durvasa Muni, então Draupadi simplesmente pensou em Krishna, ele ali apareceu, ele aceitou um pequeno grão que ainda tinha no seu pote de refeição, e depois disso, todos os 60 mil discípulos de Durvasa Muni, todos ficaram satisfeitos e foram embora.
So, when Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Draupadi if she had eaten, she said, I had eaten. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, now we have a big problem. How are we going to entertain these vast numbers of guests? And they requested the Vasamuni that she should go and take the bath in the Ganges, and then when they can come back for their meal. They prepare a meal for them. So the Vasamuni and his disciple, they went to the river to take their bath. In the meanwhile, the Pandavas were wondering what to do, because if the Vasamuni come back and they could not entertain him, it's going to be a problem for them, because it will give them a cause which will devastate them. So the Draupadi, she simply thought of Krishna. And by thinking of Krishna, Krishna immediately appeared. Because, see, a devotee can be anywhere. Just by the thought of Krishna, Krishna make his appearance. Appearance just by the thought of Krishna.
Eu me agitei um pouco na história, então estavam chegando Durvasa Muni e os seus discípulos, e o Yudhishthira ficou pensando, poxa, está chegando Durvasa Muni, a gente não vai ter nada o que oferecer, o que a gente faz? Então, ele pediu para que Durvasa Muni e seus discípulos fossem até o Ganges, se banhar, e depois eles iam ver o que ia fazer. Então, Draupadi começou a pensar em Krishna, e um devoto, onde quer que ele esteja, assim que ele começa a pensar em Krishna, Krishna aparece para ele, como aconteceu nesse caso.
Just like when we are chanting, when we are chanting Krishna's name, our chanting is supposed to be such that the Lord will appear on our tongue when we chant. And that's why Srila Rupa Goswami had composed a prayer that Krishna's name is so sweet that whenever I chant Krishna's name, I feel like having thousands and thousands of mouths. And when I hear about Krishna, when I hear his glories, his name, his kata, I feel like I pray to have millions and millions of ears, because Krishna's name is so, so sweet. So, because when one chant Krishna's name and when one think of Krishna, a devotee think of Krishna, Krishna immediately, make his appearance, and the devotee celebrate. So Draupadi, simply by the thought of Krishna, Krishna appeared.
Então,
okay.
Many things to translate. So, então, quando essa forma que a gente deve, quando a gente canta o Santo Nome, deve ser igual como aconteceu com Draupadi. Draupadi pensou no Senhor, ele apareceu ali para ela, e assim deve ser o nosso cantar, que a gente canta e o Senhor deve aparecer, com a intenção de o Senhor aparecer no cantar. Assim como Rupa Goswami escreveu uma prece, que quando ele canta os santos nomes, ele queria ter milhões e milhões de bocas para cantar os santos nomes e milhões de ouvidos para ouvir o santo nome. Então, dessa forma, Draupadi meditou no Senhor e ele ali apareceu.
So, then Draupadi presented the problem to Krishna, said, well, Krishna, we have a guest here, the Devasmani and his thousands of disciples, they are nearby in the river, and they are coming soon to take their meal, and we have nothing to give them. When Krishna asked Draupadi that, is there anything left at all in your pot? Because actually Draupadi has a pot, which was given to her by the sun god. This pot is called Jayapataka. In this pot, as long as she has not eaten food, she can feed unlimited numbers of people. Unlimited numbers. I even feed the whole Brazil if she has not eaten. But the moment she eats, everything is finished. She can no longer feed anyone. So Krishna asked her that, is there any food left at all in the pot? The pot said, no, there's nothing. Everything is finished. I've already washed the pot. I've washed the pot. And the Krishna said, okay, let me see the pot. And I said, let me see the pot. So Krishna looked inside the pot and he saw a leaf stuck in there. It is stuck in the pot. So Krishna took that leaf, he ate it, rubbed his stomach. He said, because when I eat, the whole universe eats. When I'm full, the whole universe is full. Okay.
Então, Draupadi, quando Krishna se apareceu ali para Draupadi, ela explicou o seu problema. Olha, eu estou recebendo aqui Durvasa Muni, ele está aqui com seus milhares de discípulos, eles estão se banhando no Ganges e eles vão voltar. E eu não consigo oferecer nada para eles. Ela tinha um pote que foi dado por ela, por Surya, e esse pote, ela podia produzir quantidade ilimitada de comida, mas desde que ela não tivesse comido ainda. Só que nesse caso, Draupadi já havia comido e ela não podia mais produzir comida. Então Krishna falou, deixa eu ver seu pote. Aí quando ele viu o pote, tinha apenas uma folhinha ali. E ele falou, então me dá essa folhinha. E quando ele comeu, todo mundo ficou satisfeito. O universo inteiro fica satisfeito quando Krishna come. Então é isso que aconteceu.
So when Krishna took the leaf and ate the leaf, so immediately Devasmani Muni and all his disciples, they fed their stomachs so full, as if they've eaten a huge feast. So
então,
they say, our stomach is completely full. And if you had to go back to the Pandavas now, and they feed us, and if you are unable to eat their meal, so that would be like an insult to them. So therefore, the money immediately, and his devil, they just left. They went somewhere else. They went away. So in this way, Krishna always protects his devotees in this way.
Então, quando Krishna comeu, Durvasa Muni ficou tão satisfeito que ele falou, puxa, se nós for, como se ele tivesse comido de um grande festival. Ele falou, puxa, se eu for até agora à casa dos Pandavas e comer a sua refeição, eu não vou conseguir comer, então eu vou fazer um insulto a eles. Então eles foram embora. Então é assim que Krishna protege seus devotos.
So, all these so many events in the life of the Pandavas that Grandfather Bhishma was contemplating the life of these great devotees of Krishna. In this text we are reading, it especially uses the word Shake. Shake means friend. So which means Arjuna is not just a devotee, he's a friend of Krishna.
Então, dessa forma, Bhishma estava meditando nos Pandavas e como eles passaram por todos esses problemas. E nessa parte do texto em específico tem a palavra Sake. Sake quer dizer que era amigo. Então, eles não eram apenas grandes devotos, mas eles eram amigos do Senhor Krishna.
Because in the process of bhakti, the goal of our bhakti practice is actually how to develop love for Krishna. Bhakti does not mean just bhakti. Bhakti means prem bhakti. which means devotional service in love of the Lord. It's what's supposed to come to that level.
Então, a nossa prática tem como objetivo não apenas Bhakti, mas Prem Bhakti, amor puro por Krishna. E esse é o nível que a gente tem que ansiar, né?
So, in the realm of this Prem Bhakti, there are different relationships that one can have with Krishna, one can have with the Lord. Different relationships are there.
Então, dentro desse Prem Bhakti, tem diferentes relações que os devotos podem se desenvolver com o Senhor.
There's Daksha means the master servant, whereby one sees oneself as a servant of Krishna in loving devotional service. And then there's a Sakya, the friendship, and there's Vatsalya, means the parental, and then there's Madhurya, which is the conjugal loving relationship with Krishna.
Então, a gente tem as raças, né? Dasa, que é o amor de servidão, de serviço amoroso por Krishna. Depois temos Sakya, que é a amizade. Depois temos Vatsalya, que é o amor parental. E depois Madhurya, que é o amor conjugal.
And in all these relationships, the foundation is prem, is the love. That's the foundation, is the love that is there between the Lord and his devotees.
E o fundamento dessas relações é o amor de Krishna e seus devotos.
And another thing is that we know that there are many classes of devotees. There are devotees of what we call devotees of Dwaka, who are more overwhelmed with the Lord's majesty. We call the Aishwarya Bhav, the Lord's majesty. And then there are devotees of Vrindavana, who are mainly overwhelmed by the Lord's sweetness or the Madhurya. Now, the devotees in Dwaka, the magnificence of the Lord is always present before them. They also have love, but it's tinged with the magnificence of the Lord. Whereas devotees of Vrindavana, it's only sweetness. The Lord is a very sweet person.
Então, a gente tem dois tipos de devotos, que são cobertos com a Isvara, são os devotos de Dwaraka, que estão um pouco imersos na opulência do Senhor. E, ao contrário, temos os devotos de Vrindavana, que estão sempre imersos na doçura de Vrindavana, sempre no amor mais doce por Krishna. Temos essas diferenças de devotos.
So, in this loving the relationship with the Lord, even though he is the supreme master, supreme in everything, still the supreme being, the supreme personality, he becomes subservient, oftentimes with his loving devotees, whereby he actually forgo his supreme on of everything. He let it go, he let it become on the background, and devotees' genuine love actually comes out on top, whereby devotees do not really think of Krishna as God, but they see Krishna mainly as their particular relation which they may have with him.
Então, quando os devotos estão imersos nesse amor, Krishna pode se tornar ele esquece da sua posição de opulência e pode estar até mesmo servindo os seus devotos.
So, like for example, in Vrindavana, when Lord Krishna as a child, after the whole month of Kartik, which we just finished celebrating, it's a celebration of the childhood pastimes of Krishna. It's a celebration of that pastime. So, Krishna as a child, as a young boy, 2-3 years old, sometimes all the elderly ladies, they will play with Krishna. They say, "Oh, Krishna, if you do this for us, we will give you a sweet called ladu. We will give it to you. If you can dance for us, if you can dance, we're going to sing and we're going to dance. So they'll be ordering Krishna this way.
Então, quando Krishna era uma criança em Vrindavana, celebrando seus passatempos infantis, às vezes as gopis mais velhas falavam assim para Krishna: olha, Krishna, se você der uma dancinha, eu vou te dar esse lado aqui. Então, dessa forma, Krishna obedecia aos seus devotos.
So when the gopis sing, of course, when they sing, they only sing about the Krishna's many activities. Then when they sing, they clap their hands and all that. And then Krishna will be dancing. He'll be dancing so that he can get some ladu from them.
Então, elas pediam para Krishna bater suas mãos e dançar e ser o seu bonequinho, assim.
But when an ordinary person, devotee, think of these pastimes, they cannot understand it. You say, like, how can this be God? And this is just difficult to understand.
Então, quando um devoto ou uma pessoa comum vê isso, ela fica, ele não pode ser Deus, Deus não pode agir assim.
Because, especially in the religion of the world, the understanding of God is meant someone who is the supreme. Everybody has to be subservient to him. Everybody has to serve him. There's just no conception of God as a lover, God as a friend. Such conception is never there. It's the conception of God who's the master, who will judge you for all your activities, for all your sins, whatever. If you do good, if you do bad, is that God is going to be going to who's going to judge you?
Então, nas religiões do mundo, Deus não é visto dessa forma. Deus é visto como aquela suprema personalidade, aquela que vai julgar você, que vai decidir se você vai para o inferno, vai para o céu, e tem essa posição. Não tem essa posição de ser o amante, de ser o amigo. Não existe essa concepção em outras religiões.
So the conception of God as a lover, God as a friend, or God as a son, or whatsoever, that conception is not there. It's even too far from people's thoughts. It's not there.
Então, essa concepção de Deus seu amigo, o amante, está muito longe das outras pessoas.
Only those who are following the path of Bhakti, the path of Bhagavats, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam, which he has presented to us, only those who are following the path of Bhagavats, because it's even beyond just following the normal Varnashram activities. It's even beyond that. This concept of Krishna Prem Bhakti.
Apenas aqueles que estão seguindo o caminho de Bhakti e os caminhos dos Bhagavatas é que podem chegar a essa concepção, não para outros.
So Bhishmadev, he was simply thinking of this loving, this intimate relation that Arjuna has with Krishna, and then because of this intimate relation, Arjuna will order Krishna that take my chariot here, take my chariot there.
Então Bhishmadev estava pensando nessa relação íntima de Krishna e seus devotos, e por isso que Arjuna conseguia falar para Krishna: leve minha carruagem para cá, leve minha carruagem para lá.
So, for example, in the chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, just before Lord Krishna started speaking to Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita, so Arjuna says, Sena Yuhupayo Madhye, Ratan Stapaya Mechicha, Yavan Etan Nirishaham, Yadu Kaman Avashitam, telling Krishna that, oh, my dear Krishna, Achyuta, please take the chariot to the middle of the soldiers. Because there are two camps, the Kauravas camp and the Pandavas camp. So take the chariot to the middle of these warriors, so that I may see those who have come to fight, those who have come to, and especially to please the the wicked mind of Duryodhana. So Arjuna, telling Krishna to take the chariot, go into the middle of this soldiers. So I want to see who I've got here. I want to see them.
Então, dessa forma, um pouco no capítulo 2, antes de Krishna começar a falar Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna pediu para Krishna, me leve até o meio do campo de batalha, assim eu posso ver Bhishma e Duryodhana. E assim, Arjuna dava comandos para Krishna.
So, and of course, so the Lord, he gladly, joyfully, with a very happiness. So he followed Arjuna's order. So he took the chariot to the middle of the warriors. I told him, Arjuna, look, here is Bhishma, here is Drona, here is Kripa, here's Burishara, different great fighters. So Krishna was pointing out to Arjuna, here are all these great fighters by whom you have to fight against. Are you there? Hare Krishna? Hare Krishna? Oh, is it disengaged? It looks like there's a disengagement. So Bhishma Dev was thinking of this situation whereby Lord Krishna, he glanced at the warriors. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
So
Prabhu.
Okay.
I have some internet connection problems. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. So did you? So you didn't get my last point. You did not get my last point, is it?
No. I couldn't get your last points.
Okay, I just repeat it. So what I say is that the Arjuna, he ordered Krishna to go into the middle of the warriors, and Krishna took the chariot in the middle and tell Arjuna that, okay, here's Bhishma, here's Drona, here's Kripa, pointing out various warriors, and of course telling Arjuna that, okay, these are the personalities, these are the warriors that you have to fight against.
Ok, então quando eles foram até o meio do campo de batalha, então Krishna falou, aqui está Bhishma, aqui está Kripa, aqui está todos os guerreiros com quem você vai ter que lutar contra.
So in the verse we are reading, it mentioned that that when Krishna was looking at all the warriors, all the warriors, he mentioned here that by looking at them, it diminished the duration of their life just by looking.
Então aqui é dito que só pelo olhar de Krishna ele diminuiu o tempo de vida dos outros guerreiros. Apenas pelo olhar.
Now what does this mean that it diminished the duration of their life? It's not that the Lord says, okay, now you want to punish all these warriors because they are enemies of Arjuna. No. The Lord, by being there, his presence creates auspiciousness for everyone, for all the soldiers on both sides. He created auspiciousness for everyone.
Então, o que significa isso? Não significa que, porque eles eram inimigos de Arjuna, então eu vou criar inauspiciosidade para eles. Não, Krishna sempre criou auspiciosidade para todos.
Because simply by looking at them, by glancing at all the warriors, he nullified the reactions of all their sinful activities, all the karma, all the prarabdha karma, all these things were nullified, and what is the result? The result, because all their sinful reactions were all nullified. So they all got liberation. So every single warrior of Kurukshetra, because they all died in the presence of Lord Krishna. So they all attain liberation from the materialistic existence.
Então, pelo simples fato do olhar de
Okay. So I think we have internet problem again.
Krishna.
Okay.
So, então todos eles foram liberados. Então, dessa forma, Krishna fez tudo ao ser auspicioso.
So which means the Lord's presence, it's all good. The Lord,
Então,
Lord Krishna, actually the Lord said that he never considered anyone his enemy. So when the Lord, the glancing and everyone, even though they have to do on the battlefield, so they all attain liberation. Because all the sinful reactions to their activities, all the reactions to their sinful activities had all been, nullified. So they all attain liberation after their death on the battlefield.
Então, dessa forma, a presença do olhar de Krishna nunca é inauspiciosa, ela é sempre auspiciosa. E o simples olhar de Krishna para os inimigos de Arjuna retirou as reações pecaminosas de suas ações, e dessas formas todos puderam ser liberados.
Just like the gopis of Vrindavana, they were praying to Krishna in the forest of Vrindavana. I don't want to go so much into it. So they are praying, they say, Jayati Tedikam Jamana Braja Sayata Indira Sasata. So they are telling Krishna that, oh, our dear Krishna, just by your birth, by your presence, by your birth in this land of Braj, it just makes everything very, very, auspicious for the whole earth. Which is, so they said that the earth, especially as the earth, is blessed just by your presence. So
então,
as Prabhupada saying,
então dessa forma, assim como as gopis, na sua primeiro verso da Gopi Gita, elas cantam que apenas o nascimento de Krishna fez tudo ser auspicioso nessa terra. Então, Srila Prabhupada explica no seu significado, Prabhu.
So that's why the Prabhupada is actually emphasizing that yes, the Lord is all good. The Lord it's all good. Even there's no question of someone, being his enemy or anything like that. The Lord is so good, even though it may appear contradictory, but still the Lord of God the Lord is always good. He mentioned here, the Lord does no wrong in any circumstance because he is absolute and all good at all times.
Então, como é dito, o Prabhupada fala no significado, o Senhor é sempre bom e não há contradição. Então, sempre what's your last point, please, Prabhu?
That he's all absolute and is all good at all times.
Então ele é sempre absoluto e sempre bom em todas as circunstâncias.
So this wonderfulness of Krishna, this is the meditation of Vishnu. This is the meditation. So therefore, he said, let my mind always be absorbed. This wonderful characteristics of this Krishna. Let my mind always be absorbed in him.
Então, e nisso que Bhishma estava pensando, em todas essas maravilhas de Krishna. Então, deixe que minha mente esteja sempre absorta nesses pensamentos.
So this is very, very wonderful verse, and also the wonderful purpose by Srila Prabhupada. We should read again and again and meditate and try to get meaning from this, from this, descriptions.
Então, esse um verso muito bonito, maravilhoso, assim como o significado de Srila Prabhupada. Então, a gente tem que ler e reler e sempre tirar novos significados.
So I'm stopping here because our
Eu vou
time
parar por
is
aqui.
very limited. If there's any question.
Então, vou ver se tem alguma questão. Deixa eu... Just let me check if I can see any question here. Many people glorifying you. Reverences, but I can see questions in the chat in the YouTube channel. No questions here. So,
okay.
So thank you so much. Oh, Krishna Dhamma Das. Oh, there is one question here. Krishna Dhamma Das. A raça que cada alma tem com Krishna é revelada por ele no momento certo da autorrealização de cada um. He's asking when the rasa is revealed by Krishna, what is the moment of when a sadhaka became a siddha? Where's the moment when it happens?
Yeah, that's a very wonderful question. This moment will come when we no longer consider anything of this material world to be of any value, and we desire only Krishna. Because Krishna will come to us only when we want him only and nothing else. Because we cannot desire Krishna at the same time maintain our attachment to the material world. Both just cannot go together. So when our desire for the material world is becoming less and less, and our desire for Krishna is becoming more and more, and this comes about through the association with great devotees, with advanced devotees, association with them, hearing them, serving them, and then we start developing taste for the holy name of the Lord. And that the Lord's name becomes our most valuable possession, our only possession. So the more that taste increases, there's what we call rati. Rati means attraction. So which means we are developing attachment, our taste is increasing, our desire to hear about Krishna is increasing. Then eventually that ras, that perfection will gradually come. But
então,
it's not done. Okay, you can translate.
Então, isso vai acontecer, revelar a nossa raça, na medida em que nos desapegamos do mundo material. Então, porque não pode ter duplicidade na relação, tem que desenvolver apenas amor puro por Krishna. Então, na medida em que vamos nos desapegando do gosto por desfrutar do mundo material e apenas desejar Krishna, isso vai ser revelado de maneira natural. Então, e a gente consegue isso na associação dos devotos e desenvolvendo o gosto pelo cantar dos santos nomes. E o desejo e o gosto e o desejo por cantar dos santos nomes e de se desapegar do mundo material vai levar essa revelação.
So we have to see that we have to have the conviction, of course, that this material world really have nothing to offer us but pain. but the conviction must be there. So in the Srila Rupa Goswami had written that they say Ado Shraddha Tatu Sangha Bhajan Kriya, then Anata Nivritti Shia, then there's a Ruchi. So he was writing that in the beginning there must be faith. And when there's a faith, then we associate with sadhu. Sadhu means saintly persons. And then when we associate with the sadhu or saintly person, that sadhu gives us the taste to the holy name, to chant the holy name. And then we render devotional service under the direction of the sadhus. And then by rendering that service without any other desire, any other motivation, then our anatas, anatta means unwanted habits, those bad habits, start going away, which means our attachment to everything, senses, whatever, start going away.
Então, o processo, como Srila Rupa Goswami descreve, ele começa com uma pequena fé. E depois dessa pequena fé, você começa a ter associação com os sadhus, e os sadhus vão alimentar esse gosto pelos santos nomes. E dessa maneira, você consegue começar a prestar serviços sem nenhuma motivação material. E assim esse processo vai te removendo os anartas, e removendo os anartas, você vai desenvolvendo um gosto maior pelos santos nomes e um apego maior por Krishna.
So, because Krishna is the most valuable wealth, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's devotees, they are the most valuable possession, the most valuable wealth. So which means all other things are unnecessary wealth, so-called wealth. It's also called anatta. Anatta means that thing which is not necessary. That's what anatta. Artha and anatta. Wealth and what is against that. So we have to be considering that, okay, how much do I want to become attached to Krishna? How much do I want Krishna to come into my life?
Então, a gente tem essa palavra arta, que é riqueza, e anarta são coisas que não são riquezas. Quando a gente realiza qual é a nossa verdadeira riqueza, que Krishna e seus devotos são a nossa maior riqueza, a gente vai desenvolver maior apego por Krishna e menos apego aos anartas, as coisas que não são relacionadas com isso. Então, e assim vai se desenrolar o processo.
So, of course, mainly, we as new devotees, our main problem is that we are unable to give up. We like to hold on to those material things, to those material attachments. We like to hold on to it, and at the same time, we want to develop Krishna consciousness. We want to, have Krishna. So it's something I have to let go. As I say, just like if you want to cross a river, you cannot put your leg in two boats. You put one leg this way, another leg in another boat, and then trying to cross a river. So obviously you'll be frustrated. So it is similarly also to develop a taste for Krishna. Then the anantas has to be, given up. And that's possible if one is rendering devotional service under the guidance of an advanced pure devotee of Krishna. Then that is possible.
Então, a gente não pode ter ambiguidade. Não dá para, é como a gente querer cruzar um rio com um pé em cada barco. Então, a gente só vai se frustrar com isso. Então, a gente, como não somos devotos iniciantes, a gente ainda quer fazer as duas coisas, desenvolver consciência de Krishna e ainda ser o senhor do mundo material. Essas duas coisas não são possíveis. Mas, na medida, isso só se torna possível quando a gente se associa com os sadhus e começa a desenvolver o processo.
And then also we have to pray. If we are very sincere in our heart, we have to really pray for it. That, oh, my dear Krishna, I want to come to you. I want to serve you. We have to pray for it. The prayer must be sincere. We have to pray for it.
E a gente tem que orar por isso. Falar, Krishna, eu quero ser seu devoto e tem que desejar isso.
So we pray, we desire it, and then we'll cry for it also. So
então,
ultimately, the Lord become merciful upon us.
Então, se a gente desejar isso, então o amor vai vir para nós.
I know your question is a very, very deep question to answer. So,
mas
class on that also.
A sua questão é muito profunda. Eu daria uma aula inteira sobre isso. Mas personally, I'm glad for your answer. Prabhu was very, very soft, very kind answer, very good answer. I'm grateful for that. So I think there is no more questions here. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Was very pleasure to hear you. Very nice class. I hope I will see you again soon. And come to Brazil, and come to Brazil. Your presence here. You are welcome here.
Yeah, many devotees have been inviting me, so one of these days I will come.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you, Chaitanya Gosai. Hare Krishna. Jai.